Afghanistan, officially the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, is a landlocked country located at the crossroads of Central Asia and South Asia. Referred to as the Heart of Asia, 26, it is bordered by Pakistan to the east and south, Iran to the west, Turkmenistan to the northwest, Uzbekistan to the north, Tajikistan to the northeast, and China to the northeast and east. Occupying 652,864 square kilometers, 252,072 square miles, of land, the country is predominantly mountainous with plains in the north and the southwest, which are separated by the Hindu Kush mountain range. Kabul is the country's largest city and serves as its capital. As of 2021, Afghanistan's population is 40.2 million, officially estimated to be 32.9 million. Human habitation in Afghanistan dates back to the Middle Paleolithic era, and the country's strategic location along the historic Silk Road has led it to being described, picturesquely, as the roundabout of the ancient world, popularly referred to as the graveyard of empires. The land has historically been home to various peoples and has witnessed numerous military campaigns, including those by the Persians, Alexander the Great, the Maurya Empire, Arab Muslims, the Mongols, the British, the Soviet Union, and most recently by a US-led coalition. Afghanistan also served as the source from which the Greco-Bactrians and the Mughals, amongst others, rose to form major empires. 31. The various conquests and periods in both the Iranian and Indian cultural spheres made the area a center for Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and later Islam throughout history. The modern state of Afghanistan began with the Durrani dynasty in the 18th century, with the Durrani Afghan Empire being formed by Ahmad Shah Durrani. The Durrani Empire led conquests in which, at its peak, encompassed land that spanned from eastern Iran to northern India. However, Dost Muhammad Khan is sometimes considered to be the founder of the first modern Afghan state. Following the Durrani Empire's decline and the death of Ahmad Shah Durrani and Timur Shah, a succession crisis occurred between Zaman Shah Durrani, Mahmud Shah Durrani, and Shah Shuja Durrani. Under the rule of Mahmud Shah, the execution of Fateh Khan Baratsai led to the overthrow of the Durrani dynasty, leading it to be divided into multiple smaller independent kingdoms, including, but not limited to Herat, Kandahar, and Kabul. Afghanistan would be reunited in the 19th century after 7 decades of civil war from 1793 to 1863, with wars of unification led by Dost Muhammad Khan from 1823 to 1863, where he conquered the independent principalities of Afghanistan under the Emirate of Kabul. Dost Muhammad died in 1863, days after his last campaign to unite Afghanistan, and Afghanistan was consequently thrown back into civil war with fighting amongst his successors. During this time, Afghanistan became a buffer state in the Great Game between the British Empire, in British-ruled India, and the Russian Empire. From India, the British attempted to subjugate Afghanistan but were repelled in the First Anglo-Afghan War. However, the Second Anglo-Afghan War saw a British victory and the successful establishment of British political influence over Afghanistan. Following the Third Anglo-Afghan War in 1919, Afghanistan became free of foreign political hegemony, and emerged as the independent Kingdom of Afghanistan in June 1926 under Amanullah Khan. This monarchy lasted almost half a century, until Zahir Shah was overthrown in 1973, following which the Republic of Afghanistan was established. Since the late 1970s, Afghanistan's history has been dominated by extensive warfare, including coups, invasions, insurgencies, and civil wars. The conflict began in 1978 when a communist revolution established a socialist state, and subsequent infighting prompted the Soviet Union to invade Afghanistan in 1979. Mujahideen fought against the Soviets in the Soviet-Afghan War and continued fighting amongst themselves following the Soviets' withdrawal in 1989. The Islamic fundamentalist Taliban controlled most of the country by 1996, but their Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan received little international recognition before its overthrow in the 2001 US invasion of Afghanistan. The Taliban returned to power in 2021 after capturing Kabul and overthrowing the government of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan, thus bringing an end to the 2001 to 2021 war. 38. Although initially claiming it would form an inclusive government for the country, in September 2021 the Taliban re-established the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan with an interim government made up entirely of Taliban members. 39. The Taliban government remains internationally unrecognized. 40. Afghanistan is rich in natural resources, including lithium, iron, zinc, and copper. It is also the world's largest producer of opium, 41, second largest producer of cannabis, 42, and third largest of both saffron, 43, and cashmere, 44. The country is a member of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation and a founding member of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. Due to the effects of war in recent decades, the country has dealt with high levels of terrorism, poverty, and child malnutrition. Afghanistan remains among the world's least developed countries, ranking 180th in the Human Development Index. Afghanistan's gross domestic product, GDP, is $81 billion by purchasing power parity and $20.1 billion by nominal values. Per capita, its GDP is amongst the lowest of any country as of 2020. Hotak Dynasty, 1709 to 1738. Durrani Empire, 1747 to 1823. Emirate, 1823 to 1839. Restoration of the Durrani Kingdom, 1839 to 1842. Restoration of the Emirate, 1842 to 1926. Dost Muhammad unites Afghanistan, May 27, 1863. Anglo-Afghan Agreement, May 26, 1879. Independence, August 19, 1919. Kingdom, June 9, 1926. Republic, July 17, 1973. Democratic Republic, 27 to 28 April 1978. Islamic State, April 28, 1992. Islamic Emirate, September 27, 1996. Islamic Republic, January 26, 2004. Restoration of Islamic Emirate, August 15, 2021. Some scholars suggest that the root name Afghan is derived from the Sanskrit word Uzbekan, which was the name used for ancient inhabitants of the Hindu Kush. 45. Uzbekan literally means horsemen, horse breeders, or cavalrymen, from Asva, the Sanskrit, and Avestan words for horse. 46. However, others such as Ibrahim Khan have contended that the word Afghan comes from Bactrian. Historically, the ethnonym Afghan was used to refer to ethnic Pashtuns. 48. The Arabic and Persian form of the name, Afghan, was first attested in the 10th century geography book Hudud al-Alam. 49. The last part of the name, Stan, is a Persian suffix meaning place of. Therefore, Afghanistan translates to land of the Afghans, or land of the Pashtuns in a historical sense. According to the third edition of the Encyclopedia of Islam, the name Afghanistan, land of the Afghans/Pashtuns, Afghina, Singh, Afghan, can be traced to the early 8th/14th century, when it designated the easternmost part of the Kardid realm. This name was later used for certain regions in the Afavid and Mughal empires that were inhabited by Afghans. While based on a state-supporting elite of Abdali/Durrani Afghans, the Sads Durrani polity that came into being in 1160/1747 was not called Afghanistan in its own day. The name became a state designation only during the colonial intervention of the 19th century. Many empires and kingdoms have also risen to power in Afghanistan, such as the Greco-Bactrians, Indo-Scythians, Kushans, Kittites, Hephthalites, Alkhans, Nezeks, Zunbils, Turk Shahis, Hindu Shahis, Laoks, Saffarids, Samanids, Ghaznavids, Girids, Khaljis, Kardids, Lodis, Surs, Moguls, and finally, the Hotak and Durrani dynasties, which mark the political origins of the modern state. 52. Throughout millennia, several cities within the modern-day Afghanistan served as capitals of various empires, namely, Bactria, Balkh, Alexandria on the Oxus, Ai Khanum, Kapizi, Sigil, Kabul, Kunduz, Zaranj, Firozkoh, Herat, Ghazna, Ghazni, Binban, Bamyan, and Kandahar. The country has been home to various peoples through the ages, among them the ancient Iranian peoples, who established the dominant role of Indo-Iranian languages in the region. At multiple points, the land has been incorporated within vast regional empires, among them the Achaemenid Empire, the Macedonian Empire, the Maurya Empire, and the Islamic Empire. 53. For its success in resisting foreign occupation during the 19th and 20th centuries, Afghanistan has been called the graveyard of empires. 54. Though it is unknown who coined the phrase. Archaeological exploration done in the 20th century suggests that the geographical area of Afghanistan has been closely connected by culture and trade with its neighbors to the east, west, and north. Artifacts typical of the Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, Bronze, and Iron Ages have been found in Afghanistan. Urban civilization is believed to have begun as early as 3000 BCE, and the early city of Mundagak, near Kandahar in the south of the country, was a center of the Helmand culture. More recent findings established that the Indus Valley civilization stretched up towards modern-day Afghanistan, making the ancient civilization today part of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and India. In more detail, it extended from what today is northwest Pakistan to northwest India and northeast Afghanistan. An Indus Valley site has been found on the Oxus River at Shorchagai in northern Afghanistan. 58. 59. There are several smaller IVC colonies to be found in Afghanistan as well. An Indus Valley site has been found on the Oxus River at Shorchagai in northern Afghanistan, which shows Afghanistan to have been a part of Indus Valley civilization. After 2000 BCE, successive waves of semi-nomadic people from Central Asia began moving south into Afghanistan. Among them were many Indo-European-speaking Indo-Iranians. These tribes later migrated further into South Asia, Western Asia, and toward Europe via the area north of the Caspian Sea. The region at the time was referred to as Ariana. A Bactrian gold Scythian belt depicting Dionysus, from Tilya Tepe in the ancient region of Bactria. By the middle of the 6th century BCE, the Achaemenids overthrew the Medes and incorporated Arachosia, Aria, and Bactria within its eastern boundaries. An inscription on the tombstone of Darius I of Persia mentions the Kabul Valley in a list of the 29 countries that he had conquered. 62. The region of Arachosia, around Kandahar in modern-day southern Afghanistan, used to be primarily Zoroastrian and played a key role in the transfer of the Avesta to Persia and is thus considered by some to be the second homeland of Zoroastrianism. Alexander the Great and his Macedonian forces arrived in Afghanistan in 330 BCE after defeating Darius III of Persia a year earlier in the Battle of Gaugamela. Following Alexander's brief occupation, the successor state of the Seleucid Empire controlled the region until 305 BCE, when they gave much of it to the Maurya Empire as part of an alliance treaty. The Mauryans controlled the area south of the Hindu Kush until they were overthrown in about 185 BCE. Their decline began 60 years after Ashoka's rule ended, leading to the Hellenistic reconquest by the Greco-Bactrians. Much of it soon broke away from them and became part of the Indo-Greek kingdom. They were defeated and expelled by the Indo-Scythians in the late 2nd century BCE. Approximate maximum extent of the Greco-Bactrian kingdom, formed by the fragmentation of Alexander the Great's empire, c. 180 BCE. Sasanian Empire, Byzantine Empire, Northern Wei, Liang, Alkhan, Huns, Gupta Empire, Wanwan Khaganat Gaoju Turks. The Imperial Hephthalites c. 500 CE. The Silk Road appeared during the 1st century BCE, and Afghanistan flourished with trade, with routes to China, India, Persia, and north to the cities of Bokhara, Samarkand, and Khiva in present-day Uzbekistan. Goods and ideas were exchanged at this center point, such as Chinese silk, Persian silver and Roman gold, while the region of present Afghanistan was mining and trading lapis lazuli stones. 69, mainly from the Badakhshan region. During the 1st century BCE, the Parthian Empire subjugated the region but lost it to their Indo-Parthian vassals. In the mid to late 1st century CE, the vast Kushan Empire, centered in Afghanistan, became great patrons of Buddhist culture, making Buddhism flourish throughout the region. The Kushans were overthrown by the Sassanids in the 3rd century CE, though the Indo-Sassanids continued to rule at least parts of the region. They were followed by the Kidarites who, in turn, was replaced by the Hephthalites. They were replaced by the Turk Shahi in the 7th century. The Buddhist Turk Shahi of Kabul was replaced by a Hindu dynasty before the Saffarids conquered the area in 870. This Hindu dynasty was called Hindu Shahi. Much of the northeastern and southern areas of the country remained dominated by Buddhist culture. Afghanistan is Jali in Sud Centralasie. Die Streek Jesentrir in Afghanistan word Basku as Die Kroosbad van Ac, and Die Land Het Die Bynum Heart of Asia Gahad. Die Bekend Erdo Digder Alama Iqbal Het Inkir Die Land Jeskrif. AC is En Ligam van Water en Ard, Warvan Die Afghans Nazi Die Hard is. Vanuit Sy One Nide, Die One Nide van AC, Enyat Sy Oriankums, Die Oriankums van AC. Opmir as 652,864 square kilometers, 252,072 Virkanti MYL, is Afghanistan die Wereld se 41 ste grootst land, effens groter as Frankrijk en kleiner as Myanmar, en omtrent so groot soos Texas in die Verenigd State. Daar is geen Kuzlan nie, soos Afghanistan landlocked. Afghanistan deel sy langst landgrens, die Durandlin, met Pakistan in die Oost en Sueda, gevolgd door grens met Tajikistan in die Noordoost, Iran in die West, Turkmenistan in die Noordwest, Uzbekistan in die Noord en China in die Ver-Noordoost, Indi Erken en grens met Afghanistan door Pakistani geadministreerd Kashmir. Kloksgeesjut die Zuidwest deel Afghanistan grens met Dijsistan en Balochistan provincie, Sud-Khorasan provincie en Razavi Khorasan provincie van Iran, Ahal streek, Maria streek en Lebap streek van Turkmenistan, Surksandario streek van Uzbekistan, Katlan streek en Autonom streek Gorno-Badakhshan van Tajikistan, Autonom streek Xinjiang Uyghur van China, en die Gilgit-Baltistan Jibid, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provincie en Balochistan provincie van Pakistan. Die geography in Afghanistan is utinlapend, maar is meestal bergagtig en roig, met en par wonjwan bergru wat jeopard gaan met plateaus en rivierbekkens. Dit word heers door die Hindu Kush reeks, die westelijk uitbreiding van die Himalajaswat strek tot in die Oostibet via die Pamerbergen Karakorambergeen Afghanistan se Ver-Noordoost. Die meest van die hoogst punti is in die Oost wat bestand uit Vrugberg Valley, wat dikwijls as deel van die dak van die wereld. Die Hindu Kush eindig by die West Central Hoogland en Skep vlaks in die Noord en Zuidwest, namelijk die Turkestan vlaks en die Sistan kom, hier die twee streek bestand onderscheidelijk uit galwind graveldi en halfwoestijn en warm winderige woestijn. Would bestand in die gang tussen Nuristan en Paktika provincies, sinus Afghansburg conifer wood, en toondrain die Noordoost. Die land se hoogst punt is Nashak, op 7492 m. 24,580 voet, bo Seespiel. Die laagst puntlo in Jousjan provincielangs die Amurivieroer, op 258 m, 846 voet, bo Seespiel. Die bergagtig topography van Afghanistan. Ten spite van Tau Rivière en reservoirs, Groot Delhi van die land is drug. Die Indo-Reexistan basin is een van die drugst streek ter wereld. Die mu deriastig noord van die Hindu Kush, terwijl die navigili hari rudvloei west naherat, en die argandaber vanaf die central streek sudwarts. In die Sueda en west van die Hindu Kush vloei en antal stroom wat sitak van die Indusrivier, soos die Helmandrivier. Een uitsondering is die Kabul rivier wat in en oostelijk richting vloei na die Indus wat by die Indiese Oceaan eindig. Afghanistan krijswaar sneeuwgegerend die winter in die Hindu Kush en Pamerberg, en die smeltend sneeuw in die lentesizoen betri die rivier, meer en stroom. Tweederde van die land se water vloei egter na die Berland van Iran, Pakistan, en Turkmenistan. Soos in 2010 gerapporteer, benodig die staat meer as US $2 miljard omsy besproeing stelsels te rehabiliteer zodat die water behoorlijk bestuur word. Die Noordoost Hindu Kush Bergreeks, in an die Badakhshan provincie Afghanistan, is an en geologies actiwi jibid waar aardboings bijna elke jaar kan voorkom. Hulken dodelijk en vernietigen wees, wat grondversquings in sommige deli of sneustortings gegerend die winter veroorzaak. Die last sterk aardboings was in 1998, wat ongeveer 6,000 mens in Badakhshan Navy Tajikistan Dutchmake het. Dit is gevolgd door die Hindu Kush aardboings in 2002 waren meer as 150 mens dood en meer as 1000 basir is. En aardbewing in 2010 het 11 Afghanen dood gelet, meer as 70 basir en meer as 2000 huese vernietig. In Juni 2022 het en vernietigend aardbewing van 5,9 Navy die grens met Pakistan getref en minstens 150 mens Dutchmake en vries vier en groot humanitair crisis laat ontstaan. Announced on September 7th. As of September 8, 2021, no other country had formally recognized the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan as the de jure government of Afghanistan. A traditional instrument of governance in Afghanistan is the Loya Jirga, Grand Assembly, a Pashtun consultative meeting that was mainly organized for choosing a new head of state, adopting a new constitution, or to settle national or regional issues such as war. Loya Jirgas have been held since at least 1747, with the most recent one occurring in August 2020. On August 17, 2021, the leader of the Taliban-affiliated Hezb-e Islami Gabudin Party, Gabudin Hekmatyar, met with both Hamid Karzai, the former president of Afghanistan, and Abdullah Abdullah, the former chairman of the High Council for National Reconciliation and former chief executive, in Doha, Qatar, with the aim of forming a national unity government. President Ashraf Ghani, having fled the country during the Taliban advance to either Tajikistan or Uzbekistan, emerged in the United Arab Emirates and said that he supported such negotiations and was in talks to return to Afghanistan. Many figures within the Taliban generally agreed that continuation of the 2004 Constitution of Afghanistan may, if correctly applied, be workable as the basis for the new religious state, as their objections to the former government were political, and not religious. Hours after the final flight of American troops left Kabul on August 30th, a Taliban official interviewed said that a new government would likely be announced as early as Friday, September 3rd after Jumu'ah. It was added that Hibatullah Akhundzada would be officially named emir, with cabinet ministers being revealed at the Arg in an official ceremony. Abdul Ghani Baradar would be named head of government as prime minister, while other important positions would go to Sirajuddin Haqqani and Mullah Yaqub. Beneath the supreme leader, day-to-day governance will be entrusted to the cabinet. U.S. Representative Zalmay Khalilzad left, meeting with Taliban leaders, Abdul Ghani Baradar, Abdul Hakim Haqqani, Shir Mohammad Abbas Daniksai, Suhail Shaheen, unidentified in Doha, Qatar on November 21, 2020. According to CNN, the new government is likely to be a unitary Deobandist Islamic Republic. In a report by CNN News 18, sources said the new government was going to be governed similarly to Iran, with Hibatullah Akhundzada as supreme leader, similar to the role of Sayyid Ali Khamenei, and would be based out of Kandahar. Baradar or Yaqub would be head of government as prime minister. The government's ministries and agencies will be under a cabinet presided over by the prime minister. The supreme leader would preside over an executive body known Supreme Council, with anywhere from 11 to 72 members. Abdul Hakim Haqqani is likely to be promoted to Chief Justice. According to the report, the new government will take place within the framework of an amended 1964 Constitution of Afghanistan. However, later interviews disclosed to News 18 that negotiations were not yet completed and that representatives were still in Kandahar, and that the announcement of the new government would not take place until September 4 or later. Government formation